Of course, here I am, polls were there again today, and this is the safest alternative. I was actually planning on going to Niagara or Aurelia, but there's just too much traffic now by the time I actually headed out. So I came back to Woodbine, but I parked in the covered parking on this side, and this is the new section, which I normally don't like. There's not too many machines I like, but I like this type. And there's got like 4 or 5 here, and then on that side. So I was just walking past, and I'm like, okay, let's try this one. And I put 20 in, and I didn't get anything. And I was just walking away that way, and then I said, okay, let's try another 20. So I came back here, and I got, so I got bonus win, 2 times normal pay. I got double bonus spins. So I got another 36 free games. Like 55 bucks, and it's just going up. So what this does is it gives me money to play with. This is good. Okay, and then I gotta find something to eat. Okay. While I'm waiting for my veggie burger over there, I tried this machine.
Starting orb prize selection.
Okay, so I have to
pick.
You got
5 orbs, which awards 1 orb prize selection.
Okay.
1 selection remaining.
Hey, so far I think I won like $280 or something just on my way this way from parking in the covered lot for a change and walking this way. I haven't had good luck in this side of the casino before, but that was pretty good. The sevens quick hit machine over there, and I got some multiple spins. Didn't get a lot considering how many spins they gave me, like 35 spins, and I ended up like 190 bucks. Oh, I'm not complaining. That was 190 bucks out of 20, and then I think I went like 80, 90 here on this one. I don't seem to be giving much today, so I'm going to try some other machines and we'll see. Bye for now. Hello everybody. Guess what? I'm on a mini road trip. Well, a road trip, a casino road trip. I used to do these back in my earlier gambling days, like 20 years ago. This one is rather than Niagara. I'm glad I didn't go to Niagara yesterday. I came home to the kids. Oh, so nice to be with the kids and home and just, safe and not spending a lot of money. And just resting and exchanged texts with a friend, which almost makes me feel better. And then, not one of the cat rescue friends, the other friend. And then I went to bed, got up, and I'm like going, okay, road trip. And I didn't want to go to Niagara. I have a lot of associations with Niagara because I lived there and I had properties there for a while, So instead, I'm heading for Aurelia, Rama, which I haven't been to in 20 years. On the way, to sort of tide me over, there's a Midway casino. Very fortunate they build them everywhere, for compulsive gamblers, so we can get our fixes, on the way to casinos, we can stop at other casinos. So there's Gateway Casino just by Barrie, and that's the one where I won like a couple of $100 the other day, but it wasn't the money. That was just I really needed a distraction, and it kind of worked. That was last week, So I'm just going to spend a couple of $100 there, It's just and on the way I was going to stop at the Tim Hortons here for a drive-through. Drive-through is closed. You have to go in. This is the one, after Markham, but, before you start getting to Barrie. So I stopped in and I had to go inside. And I said, if I'm inside, I might as well just get a sub. So I got a tuna sub, which I'm eating. I got cola in the car. Lots of cola. And I'll eat while driving, or I'll eat now, and then head to Casino Gateway, $200. And if I go up from the $200, significantly, if I go up to 300, I'm going to walk out, but it's not likely, so I'll end up, probably losing the 200. But at least my expectations are not too high. And I'm not going to come back to the car to get more money, because the goal is really, the road trip is Aurelia, not, Barrie. Anyway, bye for now. It's all junky logic, a different kind of junky logic, but it's all junky logic. Okay, here I am in Innisfil, near Barrie, and I'm at this Gateway Casino. This is the machine I won money on the other night, and I just, I was playing the other one because there was a gentleman here. These machines are apparently popular. So people here are friendlier than in Toronto. I talked to the lady at the end, and I talked to the gentleman next to me. So this is nice, I don't know. I'm still going to go to Aurelia, but we'll see how it goes. Bye for now. I'm playing with the money that I won over there, and I tried a couple of the machines that I know. Then I tried this one. It's like a video game style. I have no idea how the frickin' thing works, you know? But I kept putting like $20, $40, $60 into it, and then this flights up, and then that goes, and then I got a bonus spin. So I'm getting bonus spin, but I had to pick a spy. So I had to pick this spy. That's I picked the white spy, the black spy. I'm playing against the white spy, but I guess... Okay, I ended up winning a jackpot on that weird black spy, white spy thing, and I think I got the white spy's winnings too. It didn't like go back to the machine. And I was trying... at Rama, it's huge. Huge warehouse space with nothing but slot machines in there. Well, at all here. I don't like the machines. And I got a super. I've lost the money, but I've got a super win here. A big win on this. I'm not sure what it is. $300, I think. Actually, I'm not sure how they calculate it, but it's more than 1,000. I thought it was like 300. It was like 1,500. I'm not sure how they calculate this. Got my ID, and it was $3,200, you know, and it was because of all those things accumulated. So the guy comes and he has to see photo ID. So I don't have it on me. I leave my wallet in the car with the cards because otherwise I keep accessing. I usually get to the point where I go get the cards anyway, but I leave my entire wallet in the car. I went and got it, showed him my driver's license, and then now the problem is that I don't have a player's, membership card or whatever. And over $3,000 you have to show it, you know? Or you have to have it for the processing. You don't have to pay income tax or anything, it's tax-free. But still, now he has to go fill out all that, so I think I'm supposed to give him a tip. I don't know how much. Not like 10%, no way. I mean, $20, I don't know. I'll ask, you know? So anyway, that's what. That's good. I made the trip worthwhile. Bye for now. Okay, there is an issue. I kind of suspected it when they were taking a long time to process the win. So $3,200, and I'm waiting, and I kind of remembered something. Years ago, when I was really, I wasn't doing substances or the other stuff then, I was clean, and I started up gambling as a sort of I guess it was a sort of a controlled burn at the time. I didn't use that term, but it was a lesser vice for me because there was less health issues. And I started up the gambling, and then it progressed, and it went from, $20, $40 to hundreds to thousands, and I would win money and I would lose it, and I would to 3,000, 4,000 up, 3,000, 4,000 down, and I got to the point where in Niagara, this was before I was living there, but in Niagara, I had gambled out all the money I had on me. I didn't have money to pay for parking to get the car out. So I talked to a guy, and he said, we'll comp you for the parking, but you know what, you have a problem. And I go, yeah, I know I have a problem. And he goes, we have a program where if you sign up, self-rescinding or something, we take your picture, and, if you try to come in, they'll spot you, and they will, they won't let you in, it'll help you. So that worked as a motivation for some time. I was clean for 15, 20 years after that. But then I started up, and the first time I went to a casino again, I was going, are they going to even let me in because they have my picture? But, I looked at the camera, everything, and they never, they don't match it. They only spot it if you win a big amount of money and they process you, Now, so I started up the gambling again as a controlled burn, and then it got out of hand as the last 3-4 years, But I still felt that the gambling was better than the other thing because it's less, health issues and less legal issues. There's kind of a legal issue coming up here. So I just walked into all the casinos and, I looked at the camera. There was never an issue. I'm going, that's 20 years ago. I'm pretty sure that's expired by now. And then I win the big jackpot last year in Woodbine, and but they didn't check it, So this time, but it didn't ding. This time it dinged. I think they're more cautious here. So this time it dinged, and he said, we're still going to pay you. Now, the guy was pretty awful. The attendant was nice. The manager, I guess that's his job, he was very, very, and he was treating me like shit, But, he's like, basically, you were a degenerate piece of shit, And he says, let me finish. What did I just tell you? What did I just tell you? And I'm like going, okay, I'll be a sort of a really fucked up weasel here. I didn't think it was a good idea to tell him that I'm using this as a controlled burn for an addiction actually several times worse than this. I don't think that was appropriate. But then he did, and I was a bit worried. I said, you're going to pay me this money? He goes, what did I just tell you? And then he said, you have to get yourself rescinded, because if you walk, he wouldn't even let me back on the floor. And he says, if you get caught again, you'll get charged with gambling. I think it's charged with, with violating the ban. You can get sent to a judge. And he said the judge could give you jail time. And I said, very likely the judge would send me to rehab for gambling, not for the other thing. Now, so he was telling me how, he says, you have to call your closest, a casino, so it would be Woodbine, and tell them, talk to security and say, I want to rescind myself or I want to get myself off the that program, I want to rescind the rescinding, so that then I can go in. And I'm like going, what if I don't do it? And he goes, well, if you don't do it and you come in again, and you get dinged, you get, which will probably be only if I win a large amount of money, because they don't stop you at the door. That whole camera thing, they're looking for cheaters. They're not looking really for, compulsive gamblers like me, So, they would be quite happy to let me spend my money, whether if I want to go back on my, my self-exclusion. So, I ended up, so he goes, I'm going to give you the money. You call Woodbine tomorrow. You talk to security. You say, I want to rescind, or, rescind the self-exclusion. And then you go in and you sign it. But I think that's not a good idea, because right now that's a push against gambling. Now, I also know, yes, it is a sort of a push. If I do go to Woodbine or anywhere else, or even the other place in Barrie on the way back, there's a chance I could get stopped. And if I get stopped, then I could get charged. I don't know if they would actually go to all that trouble, but only if I win money. That's really only if I win money, and they have to do this, and they look me up. That's when they would. They won't. The next time they wouldn't pay me the money anyway, and then they would charge me with, violating my self-exclusion. So, and I have to go to a judge and all of that. So, at this point, it's probably better. I told him, okay, well, why don't I do it this way? I'll use this as a push, not to go to a casino. But if I ever feel the pull to the casino is so strong, and I need to do it to prevent the other thing, which I didn't tell him about, then I call Woodbine and I go talk to security and I go, I'm on a self-exclusion program. Can you please take me off it so that I can come back and lose a lot more money in your establishment? Drama llama. But at least I get some money to pay off some of my gambling debts. Bye for now. The Eastside Mario's in Aurelia, they have the all-you-can-eat getting salmon, and a soup, it's a vegetarian ravioli, but vegetarian, and bread, and you get salad, and I'm getting salmon. So I might as well celebrate two things: winning a large amount of money, and also getting kind of kicked out of casinos, at least for a while, until I rescind my my self-exclusion. But from now, I'm planning on leaving it in place, because that's a push against enough of this, and all that other stuff. So I'm hoping, and this time it's a bit of an incentive, because if I do get stopped in there again, then they charge me, because I've voluntarily joined this program, but I'm allowing myself to be charged with trespassing or something. I think it's trespassing, whatever they'll charge you with. Anyway, bye for now. The salad, all that, for like $25 or $30, whatever. Bye for now. Just came in the door safe, and babies are there, and I saw Agita there, and there's the money, It's okay. I mean, there isn't a pull to go spend it on, tonight. I'm just going to deposit it tomorrow. And I'm going to leave the self-exclusion in place at the casino because I kind of need that right now. That was such a horrible experience, though. I mean, winning the money, which I kind of needed, pay off some of the gambling debts and other debts. But the head of security, the guy, and he wasn't the manager, he said head of security, was so awful and treated me like such shit. And I couldn't really tell him to fuck off because I really needed this money, And good morning, everybody. Agita's there. One of the babies there. There's a little growl from her when he climbed up on the bed, but he's maintaining social distance, so she's okay with it. Sweetheart, you don't need to climb into the drawer. No, sweetheart, no. Sweetheart, no. So this is a very good sign. And the other baby is watching all of that from there. So, sweetie, that just fell by itself. Now, I still have to go deposit all of that. There's $4,000 in there, So, I'm going to go deposit that. I guess the news is good because, in spite of how harrowing yesterday was and how awful the casino guy was, considering that I imposed the ban upon myself in an effort to try to help myself, and being treated like an absolute criminal and a piece of shit, But it's okay because in a way it worked out because thanks to that ban and his escorting me off the property and scaring the shit out of me that I didn't gamble the rest of that money, at least even some of the money, and I didn't stop at the other casino, and I'm not going to the casino now. I'm not lifting that ban because it's working as a push for now. At some point, if it doesn't work as a push and the pull to go to the casino is so strong, then I call and I withdraw the ban, which is what I should have done before. But I wasn't even sure if the ban was still there. It was 25 years ago, and then I found out this way, but it worked out because it kept me out of the casino after the win, and it's forcing me to go deposit this money, so which will pay off some of the debts from last week, gambling and otherwise. So I've exchanged texts and emails with friends, which always helps, and staying out of the casino. It's a good first step. And I talked to I left a message for my contractor, and he called me. He was busy, unloading stuff in the dump, but he goes, I'll call you around 2. So I'm going to talk to him and go, can we please get a move on the house? Because I really, really need the rechanneling now that I don't even have the casino thing, So I'm going to have to talk to him. In the meanwhile, I got some car stuff to do. I think here I am at what is now, I think, my favorite restaurant in all of Toronto. I've shown this place before. It's both Thai and Indian. It's a small place, but it's cozy, and they do a lot of takeout business. Takeout kind of over there, some bakery, and the food is excellent. Last 2 times I had Thai. And this time I'm trying, and they're giving me something that wasn't on the lunch menu, but shrimp vindaloo. Excellent. Very spicy, just right for me. And the main thing about this place is the food is excellent and the service is, it's you feel like you're visiting family. They're just all the other commenters on the reviews and stuff. They say the same thing: friendliest, most attentive hosts, and it's an excellent restaurant. So I'm very, very happy with it. Bye for now. Robin's friend will be happy to see this. I just washed the car, I guess, first time since the big binge last week, and, so it's a good sign of return. And yesterday, all that money, and fortunately, even though it was horrible the way that the guy treated me, at least I got the money and I deposited it today, and I didn't spend it all in the casino on the way out. And I was actually discussing this with the restaurant guy, who I chat with, and really, really like the food here. So talked to him about it. He was really busy, so I just told him quickly about the casino thing and the rechanneling. And he goes, "You could always put yourself back on the list, or take yourself off the list if you need to." And I go, "Exactly the plan." if I really need to use that thing again, I will take myself off the no gamble list. All signs of my returning, no matter how deep I go. Very, very, very deep last night, But no matter how deep I go, eventually come back, so far, and use the casino control burn a lot. And yesterday there was all the casino drama, but all for the best, because otherwise I'd have lost a lot of that money on the way back, gambling. So, and for now, gambling is not available as a controlled burn, as a alternative, just because, I'll get arrested if I go to a casino again with all the shit that was going on with the, which even though I brought it, I voluntarily signed up for that program. And I can opt out by calling them and going through the whole thing and doing the paperwork, but I'm not opting out because it's a good push against casinos for now. And it's pushing me back to this stuff, the better stuff. Ice cream, kids, washing cars, talking with restaurant owners, I'm at the PetSmart, of course, part of my return to ordinary world. Shopping for my kids, gourmet flavors. There isn't much on sale. I think the new sale starts tomorrow or day after. I guess I am a water sign after all, Cancer. So I haven't spent enough time actually see the water from the condo, but it's just a distance. It's it's an angled view. So actually being by the water and hearing it and feeling the energy of it, I used to do this a lot, but I haven't in a while. So maybe this is something I need to sort of reconnect to. Oh well, inching back to the ordinary world. Bye for now. Hello everybody, we got Agita there and rolling about, and we got both the babies there. Now, I don't know if I taped after coming home yesterday, but after the lunch and everything in PetSmart, came home to the kids, and I got some very good news on the way back, where I got an email or WhatsApp from my former student who was my podcast producer for a while, and whose wedding I attended last year, remember? And it's very, very good news. He's a new father, a new dad, a human kid. So very, like not a cat, but a human kid, and they're very excited. So I'm very excited. So congratulations to my former student. It's very, very happy news, And I told him that I'm gonna, when I do eventually see the kid, I'm gonna take some appropriate Nutty Professor gifts, like a toy cat. I'm gonna make this human into a cat person. So a toy cat and a toy car. Because the car person, I'm gonna make him a car person, and books. Books. Making a little while before he's reading, but gonna look at picture books. I don't know, So like maybe books about cats. So we get a double cat thing. So I'm very excited about that. So congratulations to my former student and former podcast producer, and there's a new little human in the world, So now, other than that, it was a good evening at home, just quiet with the kids, working on journal entries, feeding the kids. Had a very good night with the kids, had a couple of dreams. And now I'm going to just made an appointment for next week for the car out in Chatham, and, which, it's a good sign always of return to the ordinary world when I start worrying about getting car stuff done and house stuff done and all of that. So it's a return. I'm returning. I feel now like I'm returning. I'm here at a Tibetan restaurant in Parkdale that I hadn't been to in quite some time. I think I used to be a regular, but then I came once a couple of years ago, and the service was really not good, and I didn't like the server and I just never came back. But it seems to be new people now, or at least new server, and I really like the food here. It is really good. It's a Tibetan place, and I've got lots of hot sauce, and I already made it quite spicy. That's vegetarian. I had entirely vegetarian today, except for the egg in the soup. Hello, I just I washed the car, and I've come here for a mani-pedi, and one of my, not actually a mani-pedi, just cutting nails and toes, toenails, and it's broken. It's been broken since the last time I get this done. A little split, and then it broke again. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they can put some glue in it. I don't think so. I think this is just cut. Maybe it'll grow properly this time. I hope it will. Anyway, bye for now. We've got one of the babies there, and one of the babies is there. Now, if I turn on the light here, one of the bulbs I think is flickering. It works sometimes and then it'll start flickering. But anyway, we got one of the babies there, one of the babies there. Yeah, that one flickers. And then Agita there, I got to change the bulb. I'm going to climb up on a step ladder. I'm going to find the step ladder which is going to be a little inaccessible, so I might have to step on a chair, But we've got Agita there. Now, one of the babies is very nicely settled here on this perch, and she came and she chased him off. But now she's not sure she wants to get on the perch herself. I think she just wants to chase her brothers. But anyway, we had a very good night with Agita on the bed on the corner there, and one baby also on the bed on this corner here. With my legs in between them, so that was like a barrier. So it was like a social distance for Agita. She tolerated a baby on the bed with us at night, And then the other baby came in the morning, and we had, they had treats, and I just fed them. And I remembered I have to go to the doctor on Monday, so I have to go give my blood test. So I'm going to go do that. I hope she gets the result. It's now later in the day, early afternoon, and I went and gave a blood test because I remembered I have to go see my doctor on Monday, So I went to give the blood test, and then from there, fortunately, I never eat in the mornings anyway, so I pretty much fasted, I just had water. So then I'm like going, where do we eat? And I checked a couple of sushi places. But then if I go to a sushi place and I spend $20 and, you get you get a salmon teriyaki, and then you get, a couple of pieces of sushi, and you get, salad, and you put $20 in here for another like $15. All of this. So I'm having I haven't been here quite a while, so I'm considering all the shit that I've been putting myself through, but coming out of sort of the other side, for now. So I'm going, the least I can do is, this is a lot safer and cheaper than other appetites, and I don't go down to one brain cell here. Maybe feed a lot of sushi. Okay, shrimp, South Thai fried rice, green curry vegetable, salmon teriyaki, and I think this is pretty much going to be it after this dessert. I'm quite full, but it's very, very good. The mascot of the restaurant is a squirrel playing mandolin. I don't know, is it a Thai thing? We've got Agita running around that way, and we've got one of the babies there, and one of the babies there. We had a very good night with all three kids on the bed with me at one point. Agita was in her corner. One baby came here, one baby came there, and then the baby from here came and cuddled with this baby, and we all cuddled with, Agita at a distance. There's that much distance, but all of us were on the bed, for half an hour. And then one of the babies got up, and I think everybody rotated positions during the night. But it was, alternated. It was like a very, very good night for me. A very good sign that all the kids were on the bed with me. Agita was tolerating her brothers. There was no hissing or anything. And last night, before I went to bed, when I got back from the all you can eat, I was very full, and I just napped. And I didn't feel like doing anything, so I ended up just relaxing with the kids, watch some TV, and then finally I pushed myself. And this is after cleaning, there was piled up envelopes that I hadn't opened for like a year. And then there were like envelopes there all over the place, There were envelopes on the floor, and there's envelopes there, and envelopes there, and there's a pile under here, So I started sorting through them, looking for the income tax stuff that I need, And I pretty much found everything somehow, except for one statement that the accountant is going to need. And I'm supposed to be dropping them off today. I sent him a picture of the mess, and he said, "Good luck with that." So, but except for that one statement, which may be able to get around, but I'm doing more. It's like an excavation, So I excavated a bit. I'm here in scenic Woodbridge, Ontario, and there's chapters over there, and I just bought some books. Always a very good sign of my returns when I start reading them. But I'm hoping to get traction on some of these. I've read Stevenson before and like some of his stuff, and the other one is sort of a new version, of Persephone, the myth, of the Greek myth. So kind of updated. So I'll have a look at that. It's nice and thick too. So that's a good sign. But earlier today, I searched through all those papers and I couldn't find the one that I was missing. And my accountant said, we'll work around it. So I dropped off everything in Vaughan at my accountant. I have to add, remember before I said I hit sort of the trifecta of, the amazing doctor, vet, for my kids, and so kind of my doctor is my vet for me, the vet for my kids, and the dentist. Incredible, but I have to make it a quattrocino. I don't know what the four. I don't think there is in betting, but with the quattro, I'm gonna make it the four because I'm an amazing accountant, really. I'm not going to show up with something missing at the last minute, and he goes, no problem, we'll work around. Everybody, I'm here at the teppanyaki place, and this is where they do, they do it on the grill in front of you. And I haven't been to one of these in a very, very long time. I do eat out a lot, as you know, a lot of Japanese and sushi, but I haven't been to this teppanyaki thing in a long, long time. And here we are, and the chef is warming up. I'm not going to take the chef. He gave permission to take pictures, but I'm just going to take the food. He makes a little tower out of the onions, and then he pours, he pours oil and he sets it on the fire. Oh, very cool. It's just burning away. It's so cool. And now I asked him to do my salmon a little bit well done. I should have gone for the combo and cut the shrimp. It is excellent. Chef is really good. He does it to your desired setting with a medium well for the salmon, and really nicely done veggies. Does it all in front of you, and the sriracha, and the sauces, and the salt and pepper. I am really enjoying it. And it's a nice day. I was just still at the car wash here, and I was drying it. I didn't have a drying cloth, so I had some paper towel on the trunk. So I'm just drying the car, and this lady is walking by. Her husband is washing their small SUV in there, and she's walking by to the Tim's to get them some coffees. And she stops to admire the car, and she goes, I like Mini Coopers. I want to buy a used one for, a second car for me. So we're talking about it, and I'm advising her, and I'm like going, don't buy this mileage, buy this, and look at the Fiats as well. If you want a really low mileage just for running around, you'll get lower mileage, a better price on a Fiat. Everybody, it's now the next day, and Agita is there. She got up when I started taping, and we've got one of the babies is there. And we've got the other baby is there, under the dining table, right there. So I've taped during the week, so I'm going to provide a relatively brief synopsis here. The news is that yesterday, after the taping after dropping the papers at the accountant, and then the very nice Japanese lunch. Late lunch, early supper, the teppanyaki, and then the, buying of books and going to the car wash and talking to a person there who admired the Mini, all of that stuff. It was a good day, and came back, and, I started reading one of the books I bought yesterday, a couple of the books. One was the basis of the movie, really short book, but the basis of the movie Hustlers, which is a world I know a little bit about. So, and then the other one is by Neil Stevenson, and I've read some of his stuff, mostly set in the near future. And this one's not bad. It's sort of about it's a novel, but the theme is climate change. So I started reading that, and I was getting into it, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've read, which for me is a long time, So it was nice to get back into reading, and I read, 150 pages or so, and I, ate at home, like veggie hot dogs, and just relaxed with the kids. Everything fine. Get up today. All is well. Pulls ramp up. And I guess it's just because it's been a couple of weeks almost, and the casino control burn was kind of my control burn out of the polls. It was dealing with the polls for a while, and it ended kind of abruptly with the big win, which was great. And then I suppose it was the best case scenario was that I wasn't able to gamble away that money because they rediscovered that self-exclusion ban from 25 years ago, and it worked in my favor, even though the way he did it was just terrible. It was just awful, and it left a really bad taste in my mouth anyway. I didn't really feel like gambling after that. So there was that, and now unless I call and I rescind the ban, which I could do. I just have to call and rescind the ban and then go sign the papers. But if I do that, then I'm going to be gambling all the time again, and it was starting to take over. It was getting to be almost worse than, in some ways. I mean, no health risks, and it is legal, except for that self-ban that I signed voluntarily 25 years ago. That's what made it illegal in the sense that I could get charged with trespassing, but that was self-imposed. So I can remove that, but I don't want to. If I remove it now, I'll probably be going back there, and then it gets out of control again, and then it gets almost as bad as the other thing, except for, health risks, but it's just as compulsive, if not more so. So it's not really working as a controlled burn. So that was sort of, the universe provided a good way out for me, and that was fine. And then afterwards, the rest of the week was good. I mean, eating out, going to the accountant, washing cars, time with the kids, starting to read again, all of that. But I suppose after a few days and no casino, today it was like the pull for the other thing started coming back, and that was a very powerful pull. And again, I don't talk in detail. I write about that stuff, but I don't talk about it here just because it's very personal, and there's other people involved, and there's anonymity issues. So at this point, I prefer not to go into details about all of that. At some point, yes, if I ever publish, then I can fictionalize and go, this is a work of fiction. Some things may be true, but some are not. Whatever, you can kind of the usual disclaimer. So that's what. And today the polls ramped up, but it's okay. I made it. I had to battle a bit, but then I went out. I went out to have brunch, and I missed brunch. I got to the usual place. I just walked 10 to 3, and the brunch ends at 3. They wouldn't serve. They said, "Oh, we're serving dinner now," and I didn't want to have dinner at like 3 o'clock. So I just walked back and had another veggie burger or veggie hot dog, And I just battled a bit more. Intention was to try to tidy up, but I never got to it, But I did change the bulbs, those light bulbs, they were flickering. I climbed on a chair, changed those, and I relaxed with the kids. So the plan now is I'm going to edit and post this week's podcast, and tomorrow I have to go see my doctor. Wednesday or Thursday, I'm making a trip to the house, meet my contractor, cut the grass, and some car stuff. And I may get the 430 on the road and bring it back. And that will be a push for me because that's a change, So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So there's that stuff going on, and I'll have to go back to see the accountant just to sign the papers later in the week. But he's going to submit the stuff before the deadline. So all of that is it's moving along, and I really want my contractor to because I really want to start being able to use that house, or at least sell the house and buy something else out there, So that's what's happening. The rest of it is in the, I'm going to edit and post. But on the whole, the casino control burn worked up to a point. It did keep me clear of the other stuff for the most part, at least that week. There was one sort of minor binge after the main binge, but that was a different substance in a different situation, and it was very limited. So that was more like a control burn itself, So that was last Saturday, I think, or last Friday, or over a week ago. But I've been clear. The main binge, the big one, the really deep journey into shadow, where I really devolved and all of that stuff. That's almost 2 weeks now. The casino helped me. I was using it practically every day. It became very compulsive. But then the self-imposed ban worked to get me off of that. So now the other one is pulling, but it's okay. I'm going to just keep going day by day. Pushes of the kids, eating out. We've got car stuff happening. We've got some house stuff happening. We got all of that, So just going to do it day by day. And it was a very deep dive that 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago. I'm going to say 2 weeks. I'm just going to say 2 weeks clear for, this is not a 12-step thing. I'm not getting poker chips or anything. I use at times I had stopped using counting days, weeks at all, but now I think it's good to have a sort of a framework, a signpost. But I'm not going to be compulsive about it. I'm going to just say 2 weeks clear, So it's almost 2 weeks since the big binge. And the little one, that was more of a control burn. So that was a week ago. But let's just say 2 weeks clear and a week clear of the casino. So the whole trifecta, the slithering, the partying, and the casinos, it's been weeks for casinos and pretty much 2 weeks since the major slithering partying. So just going to keep going day by day, and as I said, some stuff lined up for the week, some rechanneling. So from the four of us, so from Agita there, and one of the babies here, and the other baby is here, So from the three kids and myself, the nuttiest, craziest, most fucked up professor to ever walk the face of the earth, 2 weeks, if you round it, the way I'm doing it, 2 weeks clear, sort of, but going day by day, and bye for now. See you next podcast.